Content creation is a marathon. It's a message that tends to be the basis of just how long of a journey this road can be. Success doesn't come overnight, practically nothing is guaranteed, and yet despite that, we all like to put our passion to the test and formulate our own idea of success. There are tons of creators out there, and one of them that just about everyone has heard about in the anime space is Gigguk. From the parodies to the anime year roundups, and of course pissing off the fake community, Gigguk has been one of the community's most prominent creators, continuing to push the boundaries of what a passionate creator can achieve in this medium. For myself, he is one of my biggest inspirations dating back to his video of the greatest thing anime has done. I was in high school when this video came out, and I remember that burning feeling of wanting to convey my enthusiasm for this medium in a similar fashion, that of which would connect with so many people, and among other factors that has contributed to my own journey, he is undoubtedly one of the reasons why I am here today. It goes without saying that these last few years have been pretty monumental for him. Marriage, getting to sit down with Makoto Yukimura, and even recently meeting Howlin, the creator of both Link Click and To Be Hero X. At this point, it's a question of whether or not we can get much higher, and well, yeah, we can. It was announced during Anime Expo this year that he would be approaching another major milestone for his career with his own short anime film, Bond. In collaboration with both GX Plus and Studio Daisy, alongside Kevin Pinkin, Bond: The Boundary of Adulthood would be one of the first short films done by an anime YouTuber. And I'm not talking short film as in 5 minutes, but practically an entire episode of anime. I'm pretty sure this would be a first, which raises the bar of possibilities for, well, everyone in this anime creation medium. The boundary of adulthood part of the title really gave me the impression that I could find a message to walk away with, and upon my viewing, I quickly understood that this was both a personal reflection and a depiction of what taking a leap can encompass. In the realm of possibility that we do get more from this project, my understanding of the story will naturally change, but for the time being, I think this episode gave me a pretty solid foundation as to where Gigguk's heart was at. Daichi from modern day Japan and Rin from the fantasy world that is Euthania are two characters that, while being from two different worlds, their journeys will ultimately cross. Not sure if anybody else got a slight Tower of God feel, but maybe that's just me. In the beginning, we see that Daichi has his determination to see this life-changing decision through, and that despite his determination, his mother was continuously worried about it. Multiple messages of caution in her own reasoning, but not necessarily a take care in sight. I got the impression that it's not as if he was desperate to get away from home because of a bad environment, but rather he would want to change the circumstances of his life, as upon more context, we see that he was not intent of just taking over the family business. His passion lied in cooking, and with the expectations of life being imposed upon him by the surrounding circumstances, he would set out to forge his own path. His choices led into the meeting of Rin, a Euthanian who is coming into the human world and decides to live in Japan, taking on one of the most dangerous jobs known to man, a call center representative who has to deal with angry customers. We see her having to go through multiple rejections, and on top of that, she's having to suppress all the things that make her, well, her. Flight and magic becomes something that she consciously suppresses as she's trying to put her foot forward the right way. But it's the why part that truly brings this together. I'm not so well versed in South Asian lore, so forgive my ignorance, but what I did gather was that there was a tragedy that occurred during a certain ritual involving the dragon-like spirit in the sky. Rebirth, or just a newborn in general perhaps, but as a younger Rin would meet Daichi that day, it would also be the day I believe she lost her parents. Throughout the film, we never see any mention of mom or dad, only auntie, and the fact that on that day of the ritual, she believes she became a burden to Daichi, and in order to lift some of that weight off of him being her new family, she goes out and works, essentially trying to stand on her own, and despite her best efforts to get accustomed to a 9 to 5 to live on her own, deep down, you can understand why she truly is not happy. And yet, Daichi found where he belonged, making use of all his talents for the Euthanians. His cooking seems to be offerings for the god they may worship. Let's be honest, adulthood can be a fun thing, but the adulting part of it is never really something to look forward to. A lot of people end up becoming miserable trying to find their way, or end up stuck working at a place that they aren't really satisfied with just to make it to the next week. Such is the cruel reality of growing up. At the same time, things may end up working out perfectly, and you may just end up enjoying your purpose. You may not know how easy you have it until you take on all such responsibilities, but what I do know is that while it varies for everyone, many of us are fortunate enough to have a support system and a home to turn back to. Towards the end of the film, we see that Daichi had left a message for Ren, letting her know that she can come back home whenever she's ready to, and that warmth is something that cannot be taken for granted. Accompanied by an incredible OST, if there is one thing I do know, it's that a lot of people move out not only because they want their space, but to also get away from a bad situation or to take some of the weight off of their caretaker's chest. Even if we take that leap, it doesn't mean that we're ready for it, nor does it mean that it'll all work out, and having the ability to come home to a place where you won't be judged or criticized over your choices is such a blessing. And I know that this may seem like such a straightforward conclusion, and yeah, it is, but this film reminds me of a time from my college days. I was in my dorm scripting for my next video, and I kept hitting a massive wall. Unable to put my words together or get my ideas flowing, I decided to take a moment and try to get out of being discouraged. Taking some time to browse, one of Gigguk's videos I had stumbled upon at the time was why he left the BBC. He goes into detail about his living situation, the costs, the circumstances that his parents were silently dealing with and how they would never burden him with it, though most importantly, the leap of faith that he took with the support system right behind him. One could call it a gamble of a lifetime, as pursuing the pinnacle of content creation is by no means guaranteed success. And while all of our circumstances are different, you could tell that this was the one he needed to work out, and he did everything he could to see it so, creating a plan to save up enough money so that way he could afford to walk away from his old job and take this chance, and look how it turned out. I don't even think he was expecting such a massive change in life to be what it is right now in retrospect, but as I sat there and listened to this video, I thought to myself that, damn, I am spoiled. I had the luxury to be able to go to college and just attend class and keep it simple, and yet I remember having days where I felt discouraged about this whole content creator thing as well. Not to mention tons of uncertainty about my future and where I would be. I knew it was okay to have those moments, because who doesn't, especially in college, but I knew that on that day, I should not even be thinking about quitting because I hadn't even taken my own leap yet. When you see somebody out there putting in 20 times the amount of work that you're doing, it only makes you want to get it together and keep on pushing. This is when I reaffirmed myself that more than anything, I want this. I want to continue down this game of trial and error, and here I am years later. Graduated, working a job I actually do like right now, but still taking a step with every video I make towards the big goal. More than anything, I think I would be happy with just proof that I existed with 100k subscribers, but even then, why limit myself there? Perhaps one day I could be recognized as a great creator, or even sit down with my favorite authors like Ashihara. I have no reason to have such a narrow view of my future when there are people trailblazing all sorts of possibilities for me. The reality of all of this is that despite my ambition, I know that I may not reach that height, because if it were so obtainable, we would all do so. But even so, I gotta keep trying, and no matter what happens, I still have people ready to support me. There are many ways people are going to talk about this film, from quality to the message, but for me, this film was another reminder to keep on going, as I haven't even really gotten started yet. In this current stage of my life, I am fortunate enough to have a family that supports me, that is allowing me to be financially smart and save. It's because of my circumstances that I have no excuse to give it everything I reasonably have, despite the uncertainty of the road ahead of me. Every day, I'm coming home from work and putting more and more effort into these projects, with this year being one of the biggest for my channel, looking at December and even more in January of next year. I think for many creators out there, this also serves as a point of inspiration. If we're comfortable, it's time to change. If we're hesitant, it's time to formulate something new, because whether you're an adult who's pondering on something new happening for themselves, or a youth who's about to take a step into the world of adulthood, crossing that boundary is but a leap.